Yeah, Sean, it's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest Marky Satan. Every morning I get up and I'm blessed to be blinded by the light. And this morning we're going to talk about a lot of people that aren't living in the light. One, yours truly, depression is real, happens to everyone. Age, sexism, racism, it's an even killer, if I should say that. And mental health matters. Killed my baby, killed my future, and it kills my joy. And that's what I wanted to talk about this morning is for somebody that's the morning marijuana motivation leader. I have to talk from a depression perspective. And this is something that's human and real and happens to us all. So we're going to have to jump into it and talk about it. Somebody cue the intro. Blessings this morning. I still wake up every morning, think about the child I lost. The trauma is real to me. I think about my friends that just lost his mom and his nephew, and he just got shot. I think about all the things. The wars in Ukraine. This isn't such a positive start of the day. That kind of thing is the perspective and lens that happens around my eyes and mind when I think about the worst things of the planet. Now, before I left Brazil, I was clicking my heels. I was excited, look forward to the birth of my son and the making of a family, and it was just making me feel that much better. Now that this has happened, I've made myself feel that much worse. Or the situation has made me feel that much worse. So we can live in our heads and beat ourselves up over regrets. That happens to all of us. We can stay inside of a realm inside of ourselves where all we can think about is what's missing, right? It's going to be really hard. I think that's the hardest thing to do is to find the things that aren't there and believe in them. I find it interesting that that's what we do, right? We believe in a heaven and hell. We believe in the good and evil inside of us, so we develop deities that do the same. The Greeks built us in their modeled the gods in our fashion, right? They had arms. They weren't like Hindu gods where the elephant faces and six arms. They were us, very fallible, cheating on each other, lying on each other, moving around, sneaky moves. And when we with a child doesn't do that type of shit, right? Only with adults do we believe in the hate and the negativity and the depression because this is how I feel now. You're like, oh shit, if I love somebody, I have the ability to be vulnerable and have the best feelings in the world and also be shattered alive. I'm shattered alive. It's my birthday. I got the loonies. I'm throwing a festival. It's my first time ever doing that. And all I can do is obsess about the child I didn't have. That is my brain. That is what depression looks like. It looks like a lens that only wants to see half, right? Like a donkey. It only wants to see the perspective that of what missing, and what didn't happen, and what could have happened. And it embitters me. And when I eat bitter things, I become bitter. And that was the whole idea to get away from bitterness, to get away from anger, to get away from desperation, to find it within ourselves, the happiness. And someone that couldn't find their happy took away my happy. And now I don't have my happy as much anymore. They killed my happy. And just like my friend, his happiness got killed, and you live in a moment where you don't think you'll ever be happy again. It's impossible, right? And you think, oh man, you're throwing a festival, that should make you. And instead, it's non-active. That's what depression does. It steals joy. It steals moments. It takes moments that would have been in forever, would just been a moment, is now turned into a forever moment. I keep reliving it. I can't stop leaving that moment in the Pacific Ocean. Me and my girl, the life inside of her, and the fight inside of us. It's not right. And we talked about yesterday with Gary Vee. It's not right leading by fear. It's not right that I intimidated her because I wanted to have the baby. It's not right that I'm screaming at a pregnant lady. It's not right that I cheated on her. You know, all these things. I look at my mistakes and I go, I'm fortune's foe. But I had made those decisions. I chose to go to Brazil. I chose to meet up with another girl. I chose to fight with her. And all those decisions made a bad decision. that I'm having trouble acknowledging or accepting that decision. Like I talked to my stepdad last night. He said, you think I don't want my dad to be dead, but I know it's the truth. And I know there's nothing I can do to wish it back or make it undone. And I thought about it and I said, wow, that's what it is. That's all of us right there wishing it got undone. Perfect reset button inside of our minds and souls that we get a chance to live a level again. Maybe that's what it is in the video games that we become so addicted to, with the ability to reset, set a new game, come up with a different outcome. Secretly in our minds, that's what we want, right? We want to just win, right? We don't want a life that has any loss. We don't want a life that has any hell. And that's what I've been learning. It's such a dichotomy. It's just so extreme. In one moment you could be heaven on earth, God amongst mortal men, and the next you'll be 6 feet underneath, eaten by worms and the fungus within. So we are such a different creature. I thought I had it licked. I really did. I get to do in the morning. I felt blissful. And the whole time I was being angry and abusive. Didn't even know it. Can fake it, right? But I only keep it real in this show. It's like finding that real happy inside of ourselves, being able to flip this thing in my head and your head probably of depression. And until we can cure that, I looked at the Dalai Lama, listened to him say altruism, being obsessed with other people, and the well-being of others, instead of so much of how's my well-being, how's my well-being, how's my well-being. It's a very self-centered focus and prophecy that we end up living in our own heads, in our own worlds, without actually getting to enjoy it. It's a certain type of prison inside of our minds, depression. It's really a weird thing. And it's only something that I used to think that I got away from it, right? That I escaped. That somehow, some way I magically got the Titanic, swam, made it, and I've been reaching back. Trash can for trash today. And that's what it felt like. It felt like I had won and I had made it away. And it turns out that I'm still on the boat. I'm still on the depression boat, where at any moment, life can jump in and take my happiness. It can take my child. It can take my life. And I shudder at it. I look at Ukrainian people at wars, and they have their, people talking about slaps when there are babies that are not alive anymore, right? Like I saw, 400 plus, or I don't even know the number, but there was a lot of empty carriages. It's promises made, the blessing of life in between someone's legs, snatched because of hate. And that's the perspective. That's what I keep learning and listening to, is just like, these kind of things happen, man. And it's going to be tough for us to handle. Our parents will die. I don't even know how I'm going to handle when my mom dies. I don't even know if I can handle living till she dies, and that's what I keep holding on to, is I don't want to do anything more to her or ruin her life or hurt her in any type of way. And been hurt enough, between South Korean prison and world travel and a divorce and now an abortion. Life is a bitch, bro. And she's not a nice one. Not like karma. Well, I guess karma's even. This bitch, I feel like she takes it unevenly, and that's what I think our brains channel inside of ourselves. We feel that the depression is uneven. The perspective is that the sun won't rise again. And that's such a dangerous perspective of not knowing what the next day will bring, or having the optimism for it or the hope for it. And I'm reaching out to all the people that know what I'm talking about. I'm back on the boat, and I need to swim to the shore. I need to swim to the lifeguard. I need to swim to the next flotation device. That's what it feels like. We need some float. We need to float our hope. That's what this morning marijuana motivation is all about. We have to not only rise up, but we got to find the shine. And that's one of the hardest things to do, is to find shine within one's life. I had it in spades, and depression took it back, and now I'm fighting back for it. And for all those that are fighting too, this message goes out to you. Good morning. Stay blessed, less stressed, and make sure that you find that light, because that's about the only thing in the world that keeps us spinning. Oh, my heart from Starship Boy, Marky Saints Addiction. Thank you for your time today, and please go be blessed, not stressed, and go do something nice for someone today, including yourself.